Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on today and make a card with you guys, and the focus of this card is Father's Day. So I wanted to make a masculine card using items that I already had in my stash. I didn't go buy anything new for this card. I wanted to bring out some really old supplies, and I told y'all before that I really struggle with masculine cards. So this is definitely one of my challenge areas. Like it's tough, but I did want to make my husband a nice card for Father's Day and decided I wanted to film this video with you guys, and maybe you can make a card along with me. So for this card, I will be using this Alterations embossing folder by Sizzix, and this is the one with like the distressed brick. And so I just chose some stuff that was in my stash that looked more masculine, and Tim Holtz always comes through with regards to that. So I'm using this Alterations folder. I'm also using this really old stamp set, and this one is the Visual Artistry Collection, Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and it's called The Journey. So I'm going to be using this image right here for this card. I also found these little letter stickers in my stash. These are label stickers by Tim Holtz as well. I'm going to be using these. I have these embellishments that I got a while back from a Tuesday morning haul, and they're just the little gold stars. I'm also going to be using some twine. And what else? I'm going to be using some vintage photo ink. I'm also going to be using some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to be using this Heidi Swapp archival die in brown. I love this dye ink. And I pre-cut some shapes using my dies, and I'm going to be using this smaller circle right here. I also cut a larger one because I wasn't sure, but I think I'm going to go with this one. And I think that's it. And I'm using a card base that I made, top folding card, from a piece of cardstock, 110-pound cardstock that I get from Michaels. So that's what I'm using for my card base. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'm using, this is also 110-pound. It's like a craft cardstock. And where did this one come from? And I believe this came from Joann's. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to add some texture to this piece by running it through my Texture Boutique. So I'm just going to fit that in there, close that down, and I have my little Texture Boutique. I'm just going to sandwich this right in between like that, and I'm just going to run that through. Alright, and that gives my background card that texture. Let's move this out of the way. I rarely use my embossing folders, and I used to use these all the time. So now I'm going to add some, I'm going to pull out my little mat here, and I'm going to use my sponge tool here, and the vintage photo. And I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm going to start off the side and just add some, just create more depth by adding some color to this piece. It really makes the embossed area stand out. And Tim Holtz, all his collections is really good and grungy, and I always kind of correlate that with like masculine, even though he has some really pretty floral dyes, and you go both ways. But with everything that I have in my collection from Tim Holtz, it was easy to choose some stuff to make a masculine card. But with that being said, I always still struggle with ideas. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm just adding some depth to this. So it just kind of makes it pop. So now I'm just going to take the ink pad itself and just run it along the side of my card here, just to add a little bit more distressing and depth to the edges. And then I am going to take my Memento Tuxedo Black just to add just a little bit. I'm using the same sponge dauber, the same sponge, and just want to darken that up just a little bit. I don't want to cover all of the vintage photo up, but this will help these brick texture come through even more. I'm just using like little circular motions and just adding that texture, adding that depth, I mean. Okay, so here is my grungy background. Alright, so next I am going to set this to the side, and I'm going to pull out my stamp, which I already have mounted up, and I am going to use my vintage photo ink, and I think I want to go over that with this brown right here by Heidi Swapp. I love this, and I'm just going to pat it just a couple of times. I know this might be overkill, but I'm just going to add a little bit black on top just to deepen it up a little bit more, so that it'll go with my background a little bit more. And I'm going to put on a bright white circle die cut right here, and I'm just going to center that in the middle of the circle and press down, giving it pretty good pressure because I want to get most of that ink on there. And I didn't, as you can see, guys. So I'm going to go over that one more time, and I'm going to use the brown ink, and I'm just going to try and line this image up, stamp it down again, and just give it a really good press, and just pray that I got it lined up good. And for some reason, I'm still not getting the middle of that image. Okay, let's see. Let me try this. I'll go in with vintage photo again here. I may have to stand up and just get a good press down over it. Alright, these are the things that happens. Right there. And press down. That's a little bit better, as you can see. But I still want that. still want that color a little bit deeper, so I'm just gonna go over that again. And then I might have to cut another circle, guys, but we're making this together, so we're gonna see. Sometimes if you add too many layers, then it'll mess your project up, because then you'll have kind of like a shadow around the image. Okay, this would have been better had I used my stamping platform, but I didn't. Okay, so that's better. So I have my little truck image here, and I think that looks really nice on the top of that background, and we're going to have a bright white card to go on top of that. So for this now, I want to take my little stickers here, and I'm going to spell out Classic Man on here. So I'm just going to take these little stickers, and these are some barely used stickers, and I'm just going to barely press them down where I think I may want to start the words. And then the good thing about these stickers is you can lift them and move them. So once I get them where I want them on this card, then I can glue them down. Which is what I'm going to do so that they don't move on me. And to be honest with you, I forgot I even had this little sticker book in my stash. And sometimes it just helps to kind of like go through your stash and see again what all do I have. And I was surprised at some of the stuff that I found that I forgot that I even like purchased. That's a shame, but like I told y'all, I tend to be a little bit of a hoarder. So I'm just going to spell out classic, and right up under the car I'm going to spell out man, because I think my husband is a classy dude, and I love him so much. All right. All right, so this is what we have. Looks really good, right? Okay, so next, I'm just going to take my card base, and I think I want to trim a little bit of this off because I do want some of the white to show through from the card base. Because it contrasts from the bright white of the circle and then the grungy looking. So I'm just going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to barely trim a little off. All the way around. Just a smidgen. Not even a whole eighth, I think. Just over just a tiny bit. Just enough. Just enough for my card base to peek through. Alright, so I'm going to move that. trash this, and then I'm going to take my vintage photo again and go right around there where I just cut off those edges and just add that distressing color back. Okay, so now I want just a small piece of burlap, and I have cut a piece, I'm saying burlap, I mean this twine, and I just rope it around just a little bit and then twist it in the center like this. And then I'm going to take some of these adhesive dots, and I'm just going to use this to place in the center right there. Stick this down on both sides. And that's a piece. Let's see, I'm going to set that down and go ahead and get rid of that one. Didn't want to come off, so we'll use this one. And I'm going to put this one on this other side, just like that, and smash it together like that. Alright, so then I'm going to take my round right here, and I just want this to peek through a little bit, like this, on the back, and I just want it to peek through. You know, I can't add too much. That will make his card look frilly. Okay, so then I'm going to use some dimensional adhesive that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to pop this up. I'm going to pop this up right on the center of my card. Alright, so I'm going to take this backing off right here. Alrighty, and I'm going to place this in the center of my card. And again, once I'm done, I can go back through with my glue and just go ahead and glue down my little label stickers, just because sometimes they do tend to peel up easily, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to push that down there, and then I'm going to take my card base, and I picked out a couple of stamps. Of course, my uniquely handmade stamp. Let's see, looks like that. And another stamp I'm going to use is this one that says, "You deserve the best day ever." And let's see, so I'm going to open it up first, and I'm going to stamp with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Get that stamp inked up really good. And I want to get this in the center, so I'm going to hold it both sides and press down and try not to move it around a lot. And lift up, so perfect. So it looks like that. And I'm going to turn this around. Alright, turn that around. I'm going to stamp my uniquely handmade on the back. Right here. Same thing. Try not to move it. Just give it a good press. Perfect. So that's the back of my card. And inside. So now I can fold this down and take my art glitter glue and go ahead and apply some to the back of my card panel. And I love this fine metal tip because it helps me control how much glue I'm applying, because I can be heavy-handed with the glue. Definitely. Just like that. So I'm just going to line this up here, and I'm going to press it down on my card so that I have just a little bit of the white from the card showing through, showing around the edge like that. So to further embellish this and make this card complete, I am going to add some of these little stars. And odd number is a rule of thumb for these embellishments, so I'm doing 3. Alright. And there's our card. It says Classic Man. And I do apologize if it is a little fuzzy because I'm using a webcam. Sometimes it gets fuzzy looking on me. So this is it, guys. A really easy, clean, and simple card to make using some items I already had in my stash. And hope you guys like it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you would like to do so, click the link to subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.